let us say that in the same suit, in this very suit itself, A wants temporary injunction. In the same example, A को temporary injunction चाहिए. अब subsequent suit को भूल जाओ, थोड़ी देर के लिए सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक ही सूट पे फोकस करो. In this particular suit itself, A in the course wants temporary injunction. Order 39. He wants temporary injunction. That temporarily, please till the suit is decided, you restrain B from selling the property. भाई ठीक है, प्रॉपर्टी मेरी है, मैं क्लेम कर रहा हूं, पता चले सूट जब तक डिसाइड हो बी प्रॉपर्टी सेल ऑफ कर दे, तो मैं किसके पीछे भागूंगा? आई डोंट वांट टू सेल ऑफ द प्रॉपर्टी. I do not want to sell off the property. So he is wanting temporary injunction from the court. He is wanting temporary injunction from the court, that the court should temporarily restrain B from selling of the property till the suit is decided. भाई डिसीजन आप दोगे, टाइम लगेगा, लेकिन तब तक B को आप रिस्ट्रेन कर दो, रोक दो कि वो किसी भी तरीके से उस प्रॉपर्टी के साथ छेड़छाड़ ना कर पाए. वरना अगर किसी थर्ड पार्टी को बेच दिया तो वो थर्ड पार्टी तो बोलेगा कि मेरे को तो बेची गई है प्रॉपर्टी, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू रिवर्ट इट बैक. इट्स वेरी सिंपल. बट द प्रॉपर्टी बिलोंग्स टू मी, दैट इज ए. So please, you should restrain B, the defendant, from selling the property because I am claiming the possession and ownership. Wonderful. The court rejects the application. The court rejects the application. Court ने मना कर दिया that you will not get a temporary injunction. यहां पे A ने क्लेम करा था that B may sell off the property. B may sell off the property, and I am claiming possession, ownership. You please restrain him from selling it off. मना कर दिया कोर्ट ने. Court says no, it's not a matter of urgency. Court exercised its discretion and rejected the application. We are not concerned with how the court rejected, but simply the court rejected that we are not going to grant temporary injunction in the matter. Sorry, court ने मना कर दिया. After some time, again an application under order 39 is filed on the same ground that B may sell off the property. You please restrain him from selling it off by granting a temporary injunction. Again, a subsequent application in the same suit is filed. Again, subsequent application in the same suit is filed on the same ground, in the same capacity, that you please restrain B. भाई B को मना करो, आपने पहले भी मेरे को टेम्पररी इंजंक्शन का रिलीफ नहीं दिया था, मैं फिर से कह रहा हूं B may sell off the property, restrain him from selling it off. You tell me, will the bar or prohibition of res judicata apply on this subsequent application in the same suit? पहले टेम्पररी इंजंक्शन की एप्लीकेशन थी, ग्राउंड था बी प्रॉपर्टी बेच देगा, उसको रिस्ट्रेन करो. कोर्ट ने कहा सॉरी, रिजेक्टेड. थोड़े दिनों के बाद फिर से एप्लीकेशन आई, बी प्रॉपर्टी को बेच देगा, टेम्पररी इंजंक्शन दो, बी में सेल ऑफ द प्रॉपर्टी. यू टेल मी, विल द फॉर्मर डिसीजन ऑफ द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ टेम्पररी इंजंक्शन वेर इट वॉज रिजेक्टेड आफ्टर हियरिंग, विल इट बी अ प्रोहिबिशन ऑफ रिस जुडिकाटा on the subsequent application? The answer is yes. It will operate as res judicata. It will definitely operate as res judicata. You come to section 11 please. Analyze the language. आइए section 11 पे आइए वापस. आइए. हाँ नहीं, थोड़ा सा different है उससे. आइए. It says no court shall try any suit or issue in which the matter directly and substantially in issue has been directly and substantially in issue in a former suit between the same parties or between parties under whom they or any of them claim, litigating under the same title in a court competent to try such subsequent suit, or the suit in which such issue has been subsequently raised and has been heard and finally decided by such court. नाउ अंडरस्टैंड, जब हम बात करते हैं सूट और इशू की, दे बोथ आर क्वाइट डिफरेंट एंड वी आर नॉट कंसर्न्ड विद आइदर ऑफ देम इन दिस सिचुएशन। ना ये सूट की बात करता है ना ये इशू की बात करता है। द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट सेक्शन 11 इज नॉट रिस जुडिकाटा। सेक्शन 11 is only one example of the general principle of res judicata. Res judicata in itself is not just confined to section 11. Res judicata in itself is a very broad principle which is, preventing conflict of judgments, conflict of opinion. It is preventing unnecessary harassment of the other party. It is saving judicial time. It is protecting the courts from multiplicity of proceedings. It is reducing the burden on the court. It is a general principle. But section 11, though is an example of res judicata, but it's not the only provision where res judicata applies. There are other provisions. Order 2, Rule 2, 21 capital A, foreign judgment. Foreign judgment. These are all other manifestations of the general principle of res judicata. Now, let's come to another example. Let's say that this particular court, where the subsequent suit, where the former suit was being adjudicated, this court where the former suit was being adjudicated, let's say that this court did not have jurisdiction, and particularly it did not have subject matter jurisdiction. Particularly, it did not have subject matter jurisdiction. The court in the former suit particularly did not have subject matter jurisdiction. Now you tell me, as you all know it already, if a decree is passed, will it be valid or void? Void. And will it operate as res judicata? Think and answer, because we are not concerned even with the correctness of the judgment. Section 11 never says that the court has to have jurisdiction. Court is competent to try such subsequent suit. We are talking about former suit. अब क्या करें? भाई, parties have been heard and finally decided, merits पे decide हुआ है case. The parties are now the same, issue is the same, title is the same. What do we do now? Because जो former suit था, the court did not have jurisdiction. Section 11 जो है, वो तो सब्सिक्वेंट सूट की कॉम्पिटेंसी की बात करते हैं कि भाई जहां पे जिस कोर्ट में सब्सिक्वेंट सूट फाइल हो रहा है, दैट इज कॉम्पिटेंट टू ट्राई इट. पर अब क्या करें? देखो सेक्शन 11 पढ़ के देखते. देखो, इट सेज नो कोर्ट शैल ट्राई एनी सूट और इशू in which the matter directly and substantially in issue has been directly and substantially in issue in a former suit between the same parties or between parties under whom they or any of them claim litigating under the same title in a court competent to try such subsequent suit. तो ये जो competency है, ये former suit के कोर्ट के बारे में बात करती है या subsequent? ध्यान से पढ़ो. subsequent suit की competency की बात करती है कि जिस कोर्ट में subsequent suit फाइल हो रहा हो, उस कोर्ट में भी ट्रायल नहीं चलेगा. yes or no? सब्सिक्वेंट सूट जिस कोर्ट में फाइल हो रहा है, उसी की कॉम्पिटेंसी की बात कर रहे हैं कि नहीं हम? तो अब क्या करें जब फॉर्मर सूट के पास कॉम्पिटेंसी नहीं थी? व्हाट शुड वी डू? यू टेल मी. इफ it was a court lacking competency, if it was a court lacking competency, should the decision operate when the decree itself is void? That means the decision has no value. Subject matter jurisdiction नहीं होने पे decree nullity होती है कि नहीं? Yes or no? It's void per se. You don't have to prove anything else. You tell me, should it operate as res judicata? The answer is no. The answer is no. Why? Why? Because again, though section 11 itself says that the subsequent court has to be competent to try the suit, that's fine. But as a matter of fact, what will be the utility of the principle of res judicata applying on a decree which is itself void? अब ध्यान से सोचो, दो पार्टीज ने पूरा लिटिगेट करा मैटर को, द कोर्ट डिड नॉट हैव सब्जेक्ट मैटर ज्यूरिसडिक्शन, द डिक्री इटसेल्फ इज वॉइड पर से, यस और नो? यस और नो? द डिक्री इटसेल्फ इज वॉइड पर से, ऑन द फेस ऑफ इट डिक्री इज वॉइड, नो यूज ऑफ द डिक्री, नो इफेक्ट ऑफ द डिक्री. कोर्ट डिड नॉट हैव कॉम्पिटेंसी, कोर्ट ट्राइड, ऑब्जेक्शन रेज हुई थी नहीं हुई थी, nobody cares. You passed the decree is void. You lacked subject matter jurisdiction. Now you will prohibit the parties from actually going in a competent court and asking for relief, which is executable. भाई वो तो डिक्री एग्जीक्यूटेबल ही नहीं है, उस डिक्री का तो कोई फायदा ही नहीं है. It's just a piece of paper because it's void per se. Court lacked subject matter jurisdiction. उस डिक्री का कोई इफेक्ट ही नहीं है. अब कोर्ट ने कह दिया कि भाई, मान लो कोर्ट ने कह दिया ए को रिकवरी ऑफ पोजेशन दे दो, ए उसको कभी एग्जीक्यूट ही नहीं करवा सकता, डिग्री की वैल्यू ही नहीं है, जीरो, नलिटी.